Hi, this is Ms. Burkhart, one of the school counselors at RCHS. I have created this video to help you navigate the Common Application. The Common Application, or Common App, is a college admissions application that you can use to apply to nearly 700 colleges and universities. Common App is designed to streamline the college application process, as you have one account that you can use to submit college applications to any colleges affiliated with the Common App. Some colleges choose to use the Common App as the only method of receiving applications. Other colleges will give it as an option, and some will not accept the Common App at all. To find out if a college uses Common App, you can look at the specific college's website or search on the Common App website. The first step to using the Common App is to create an account. Go to commonapp.org and click Apply Now to get started. You will then click Create an Account and select that you are a student. You will then be asked to provide an email address and password. Please make sure that you use an email address that you check often, as you will receive important emails about your applications to this address. You will then click Continue to proceed through the next steps of creating an account, where you will provide some identifying information. Once you have finished putting in your identifying information and setting up your account, you will be brought to this dashboard page. This is the page that you will see when you log in. My dashboard page is currently empty, as I have not yet added any colleges to apply to. To get started, you will need to search for the colleges you want to apply to by clicking on the College Search tab. You can search by the school name or by various parameters to find colleges of interest. Let's say I want to apply to Lynchburg College. I can search for Lynchburg College, and here it is. So I'll select it, and then I'll click Add. Now they've been added to my list. I'll click Search again to find another school that I'm interested in. Let's say that I'm interested in applying to Virginia Tech. If I search for Virginia Tech, it does not come up. So I've either misspelt the school name, or that school is not a Common App school. I know that Virginia Tech is not a Common App school, and that's why it did not come up in the search engine. So I'll add another school of interest. Let's say I'm interested in applying to the University of Virginia. I will search. Here it is, and I'll click Add. Now if I go to my colleges list, I can see both colleges here that I've added. But right now I'm going to return to my dashboard. At my dashboard page that was originally empty, you can now see the two schools that I have added, Lynchburg College and the University of Virginia. And then here it will track some important information, various requirements that each school has, their deadlines, and then additional information here, including my progress and my writing supplement. The reason that a lot of this is currently blank is because I have not identified which deadlines I'm signing up for yet. I've just added the schools to my account. So to get started, it is important to understand that there are two parts to the Common Application. First, there is the main part, or the Common App, and that's this tab right here. This is the tab where you will put all of your information into that is given to all colleges you apply to. It's your name, your contact info, your educational history, all of the generic information that it goes to all of your colleges. Then, the second part of the Common App is to click on each school in particular and fill out each of their specific requirements. So the main Common App will go to all schools, but then each school will have some additional questions they would like for you to answer. So first I'll show you the Common App page. On the Common App page, you will have to put in information about yourself, your family, your educational history, standardized testing, activities, and a writing supplement. So first I want to point out some important things in this education section. In the education section, you will need to search for Rockbridge County High School. So you can click on Find School and then start typing in the name, and you'll see it appear here. You'll then need to answer some additional questions, but the one important thing I want to point out is this section that asks about your counselor. Please make sure you fill this section out early and that you put our correct email addresses in. If you look next to your screen, you will see the email addresses for the current Rockbridge County High School counselors. Please make sure you put our email addresses in correctly, as if they are misspelled for whatever reason, then we will not be connected to your account and we won't be able to submit things on your behalf. So please make sure you fill this out accurately. You will additionally be asked questions about your SAT and ACT testing history, activities you've been involved in. In the activities section, this is where you're going to talk about your clubs and sports and job history, everything on your resume that you think that a college would like to know about in determining whether or not they're going to offer you admission. And in the writing section, you will see 5 writing prompts. And these prompts are ones that all of the member colleges have agreed upon as prompts that they feel are representative of their admissions criteria. So you get to choose from one of 5 prompts, and then make sure you follow the directions and put your essay in here. I'd recommend that you begin your essay in Microsoft Word and then paste the final essay into this box so nothing gets lost. But if you look at the top up here, not all colleges will require this personal essay. So based on the 2 colleges that I have chosen, the University of Virginia does require a bit, but Lynchburg College does not. It may be in your best interest to provide an essay, even if it's not required. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard page. So back at my dashboard, I can see the 2 colleges I've added, and I can click on these triangles to begin working on each college's specific requirements. So here's Lynchburg, here's UVA, but you can also do the same thing by clicking on My Colleges here and then going through each of the sections below the name. So let's say, for example, I want to work on the University of Virginia's specific application requirements. I'll click on UVA, and then here I can see some important information. So contact info if I have any questions, the deadlines that UVA has, as well as the fees and what is required. So the first thing to get started on is the questions. And in this section, I'll identify when I want to start college, which will be the fall of 2017, and then which admissions plan I'm applying to. So this will be the various deadlines that the college is offering. And if I'm really interested in hearing back from UVA early, I'm going to choose early action. Make sure you go through the rest of the questions. I just don't want to highlight those right now. But once you put in your preferred start time and admissions plan, then you will have the information listed on your dashboard here. So here's their early action deadline is November 1st. So you can use your dashboard to keep track and make sure that you are getting all of your materials in time for that deadline. So I'm going to go back and continue editing the University of Virginia's for just a moment. One of the most important pages is this Recommenders and FERPA section. So when you click on that, you will see a release authorization. When you click on that, you will be provided with some information. So this section is asking you whether or not you wish to waive your right to access your records. So this is saying that whether or not you are willing for recommenders to submit letters of recommendation and information on your behalf that you have not seen yet. We strongly encourage you to waive your right to access those. And the reason for that is because colleges will look more favorably or will look in more depth at a letter of recommendation if they feel as though a student has not been able to see it, because it's more truthful and more candid. So it's generally in your best interest always to release access and waive your rights to access your letters of recommendation. It's completely up to you. We strongly encourage that you do waive your rights. If you have any questions, please talk to your counselor because you're not able to change the answer that you provide once you give an answer. So make sure that you know what you're committing to so you don't have to start all over again because you cannot change your answer. So once you've read all the information and talked to your counselor, you'll click Continue. And then you'll be asked whether or not you wish to waive that right or not. Again, we strongly encourage you to waive your rights, but ultimately it's up to you. And I understand that I cannot change this once I make that selection. And then you'll type your name in as a signature. Just make sure that you talk with your counselor and the teachers that you are asking for letters of recommendation. Some of your recommenders may not even be willing to write you a letter unless you waive your right. So be sure you talk to them before making a decision. So here I'm going to waive my right and then click Save. And once I do that, I'll have a green check mark and I'll need to invite recommenders. So if I scroll down, I can invite my counselor for them to do the secondary school report and other forms, including my transcript, and then my teachers. So first, I'll have you click Invite Counselor, and you'll have to put in our information. So if I'm your counselor, you will put my information in here, and then you'll click Send Invitation. And then you can see that I was invited. So once you do this, your counselor will receive an email and you'll be connected to their account. So they can log in and submit information on your behalf, like your transcript, your letter of recommendation, and your secondary school report. If you've spelled their email wrong, they will not be connected. So make sure that you spell our emails correctly. Look at the little icon below that has all of our email addresses. Some of them are difficult to spell, so please make sure you spell them correctly. So once I've added my counselor, Ms. Burkhart, who's also me, you'll look and see all the things that your counselor can submit on your behalf, and you can track and see when your counselor has submitted things for you, which is kind of cool. But then you'll go down and you'll also need, for the University of Virginia, some teacher recommendations. And they require one teacher letter of recommendation, but they allow up to 3. So you'll do the same process. You'll invite a teacher and you will put what subject they teach, as well as their first name, last name, and their email address, and you'll add them the same way that you did when you added your counselor here. And once you do that, you'll also be able to track whether they've submitted your letter for you as well. So again, I'm working on the University of Virginia here, but if I click on Lynchburg College, you can see that my recommenders and FERPA section has already been started here. Because once I waived my right to access my letters of recommendation at UVA, the same was applied at Lynchburg. So that's already done. And if you look, in addition to the FERPA release already being completed, your counselor has already been invited as well. So once you invite your counselor on one of the college applications, they're invited to all of them. But teachers are different. So Common App allows you to have different teachers for different colleges if you'd like to. So if you look here at Lynchburg College, there are not any required teacher recommendations, but you're allowed up to 3. And if you want to invite the same teachers that you did for the UVA application, you'd have to invite them here again, or you can invite different teachers. It's completely up to you. And Lynchburg College also allows you to have other recommenders. So if you wanted to invite someone that wasn't a teacher or a counselor, such as a coach or an employer at work, you could list them here, and your 0 are required, but you could have up to 3. So I want to go back to the main Common App page just for a moment. On the main page, under the profile section, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a Common App fee waiver button. And this is pertaining to students that may be eligible for a fee waiver for the costs of the applications for each of the colleges. These are typically students that receive free and reduced lunch at the high school, or are members of Talent Search. If you think that you may be eligible for a fee waiver, please see your counselor. And if you are eligible, if your counselor has approved you for that, then you will want to click yes and then fill out the reasons why you're eligible based on your discussion with your counselor. And then you'll sign your name by typing it here. Now, it's important to note that even if you put yes here and you sign it, that does generate a request for your counselor to approve it. So just make sure that you've talked to your counselor and made sure that you are eligible before you go through that process. So I'm going to click back to the dashboard, and again, make sure that you are keeping track of your deadlines and submitting all of your information on time for those deadlines. Just filling out the information, again, does not submit the application. You have to go through that final step of clicking submit before anything is sent to that particular college. So once you have completed the main Common App section and you've completed all of the information in the specific college tab for a college, you can go ahead and submit that. So you can submit UVA's application before even starting on Lynchburg's if you want to, just as examples. But I just want to highlight some important things that we went over in this video just to summarize. Don't forget the two main parts of the application, the Common App section, the generic stuff that goes to all schools, and then the individual school information in particular in the My Colleges tab. And please remember, it's so important to spell your counselor's email correctly. We're not able to connect to your account or even know that you're using Common App until you put our information in both in the Common App section and in the Recommenders and FERPA section. When you invite us as your counselor, that's when we get that email generated to us. So please make sure you spell that correctly. Again, those emails are on the screen right now for you. And it's totally okay that once you add us, just check and make sure that we've got that email, that we're all set up so that we avoid any issues down the road. And lastly, if you feel as though you may be eligible for a Common App fee waiver, please make sure you talk to your counselor early about that so we can get it set up for you. I hope this tutorial has been a helpful, brief introduction to how to use the Common App, but I'm sure you have other questions, or if you run into any issues, please feel free to reach out to your school counselor at any time. We're always happy to help you.